Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so the news is that I've updated my Twitch app on the phone. So hopefully chat is going to work now. Well, I hope so. Um, yeah, and maybe you can hear my washing machine working. Yeah, I also need to go and put my laundry up on the wire at some point when it finishes. Okay, so let me get ready, and I'll be back to the chat. Let me just, yeah, okay, that is ready. Share the stream. Um, okay, got 2 likes on the tweet at least. Okay, so let me slowly begin. Just let me close the door. I'm gonna grab water. Okay, hopefully you don't hear the washing machine. Uh, okay, so let's start. Welcome to the stream. So here we go. Okay, let me just shut down Discord. Okay, here we go. So, welcome to the 116th Shakedown stream. This is about making a in-game menu. And earlier today, I had quite a short stream, sort of 1.5 hours. And I've spent about half an hour just just preparing for it because there was a lot to talk, because I haven't I haven't streamed earlier for 2 weeks because I was ill. I was doing another project and other stuff in life. So yeah, this is so I'm back on stream, and Kenya is approaching in a week. Not this weekend, but next weekend is Rally Safari 2024. Looking forward to that, but I'm planning to also make a little stage for it, hopefully, before the rally. But before that, I want to add a little menu because it's been a long time since since I'm planning. Everything in Shakedown right now is handled through a basically config. Everything that you want to configure, let me show you. So like anything you want to configure in the game is done through a config, and basically I have to open the config ini And if you want to change the resolution, if you want to change the bindings, you have to open the config and you just have to say, okay, I want to change the width to this, to change to maximized. Okay, this is still going to maybe be the case because resolution is a bit complicated, but everything else is pretty much, there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to modify it from the game. And for example, audio volume, right? Like, why not modify it from game? And right now there is no such way. If I launch the game and I go to, you know, I open the game, I started, there is no way to modify the audio. Actually, there is, but you have to turn on the dev menu. Yeah, the current menu is just, if you hit escape, this is what you get. You just get a little info board, as they call it, and you have like, okay, press escape to resume, space to restart, R to enter the replay, right, or enter to quit. That's it, right? It's not a proper menu. And if you want to change the, if I want to change the volume, I can through the dev menu, which is like, you hit the tilde and then you can modify it here. And you can actually modify a lot of things through the dev menu, like, you know, just like, I don't know, the geometry of the wheels, like you can extend the wheelbase if you want. or widen the wheel track. Now it's super grippy, right? Look at this mega car. Yeah, you can change a lot of parameters, and a lot of people don't, yeah, especially the modders, they don't know that, so they're like modifying the config values. But yeah, a lot of these things you can set through these, there is convoluted windows, which are not very nice. And that is the primary reason why I want to add menus, because then you would be able to just open the menu and change these values, right? Anything that you need to set. And so this is what I did on the last stream. I created a new project, and this is the whole project, okay? The main point, the main thing is that we have these menu entries. But yeah, let me actually show you how it looks like. So this is it. It's just an empty project which has nothing except the main menu, right? If I resize it, you can see that we have these options, and you can navigate through them with keys up and down, up, down, 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 up, 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 up. And you can confirm them with space or enter or numpad enter, whatever you prefer. And it will do some function like this one. It says about to drive, and credits, it says by Notke. It just outputs to the console. It's not a big thing, right? And the quit, of course, quits the game. And the way I implemented that is that each of these options is actually a new window. A new window, a new IMGUI window, which I actually center and I set the position. Okay, that's what I set up the last stream earlier today. And another thing is that I was just checking the chat because I don't trust the app. Okay. And yeah, and then at the very end of the stream, I actually made it this sort of, I turned entries from simple strings into a struct. So the struct menu entry is actually what is controlling each of these options in the menu. And so it has a title and it has an unconfirmed function that you can call. And this is actually a function pointer, but it's std function, which is, you know, a little better than the C function. And the cool thing about std function is that it can do captures, so it can take any value from the you know, that you use, and you can pass it to it and you can modify it, and that's pretty cool. You can employ, yeah. So basically here I have 3 entries. This is how I add them. One is drive, credits, and quit. And this is what it does. So it's basically just outputting about to drive by Notke, and this one outputs crashing and then sets quit to true. And you can see that it actually manipulates this value. And yeah, so it works like magic, which is really good. Okay, so on this stream today, I want to add a left-right increment decrement. So right now you can go up and down right through the options, but I want to add left and right that can modify the value, which is very important. Okay. And and one of the so how am I going to do that is that let me just get over all the things. Oh yeah, by the way, what did I do so far? Simple menu. I actually drew it in the Excalibur, but I didn't need my notifications on. So yeah, simple menu. Set up a project. We have the ImGUI windows, up-down navigation, space to confirm or enter or numpad enter, menu items tracked, confirm as a std function. I showed you all of these things. So today I want to do the left-right increment, as I said, and I want to figure out how to point to the entry itself to change the text. So would this be possible? I think so, but I would need to, I'll focus that later. But basically, I want to be able to change the text of the label from the menu itself, right? Okay, that's one thing. Then I want to have multiple menus. So for example, when you enter the options menu, it's turns into a completely different set of options, set of entries. Increment, decrement, percent. For example, for the volume, right? When you tap right, left, it should change the percentage of the volume. Find out how to change ImGUI background color. I want to actually change the background color, not just the alpha. So that's one of the things. And then finally, I want to add it to Shakedown. So I don't know if I'm gonna do all of these, but let's begin. So for the beginning. I wanted to actually make a little test. And let me actually try to modify the text itself first, because that's the most interesting thing, right? I want to actually be able to point into the entry itself. So what do I mean by pointing to the entry itself? By that, I mean I want to point into this emplaced back entry. And here's the thing. I know that this is the second one, right? Or this is the index 1. So what I could do is I could simply take a... let's change the change label. Let's say it like this, something like that. And what I can do here in this function, I can say, okay, let's do the function like this. I can say, I know that this is the 0, 1, 2, right? This is the second index. So I know that menu entries 2 dot label, I don't know why it is, title, is, now it's different. Something like that. Okay. Let's try to change it. Wow, what is going on? Why is it putting 2? Okay, there it is. Now it's different. So we're gonna attempt to change the title of it, right? So let's see if this actually works. I have no idea. So the unfortunate thing is I don't know how you can pass a self, so that I don't need to think about indices, but let's see. Okay, let's try. Change label. Now it's different. Okay, so it totally works. You can change itself. But as I say, the issue is that you have to pass in an index or something. It cannot have the self thing, whoever adds it. But you could have the entry itself. Well, can I actually reference the entry itself somehow? Maybe if I pass it into a function? Because if this is, actually I have an idea. When I'm calling it, when I'm actually at the point of call, menu entries, where am I actually calling it? Where am I actually calling this? Unconfirmed, there it is. Okay, so maybe I can add a reference to the menu entry itself here, right? What if I take, whoops, what if I add the menu entry, right? And I can say menu entries I, right? But on confirm, it's not going to be a void. But it's going to take a reference to a menu entry. No, wait, this is not how you write it. This is how you write it. Okay, so yeah, here's the thing. This is going to be the reference to the menu entry. And then, yes, and then it can take in the reference. But the thing is, where I'm defining it, I need to add, right? Wait a minute. It is actually here. No, it's not. No, this is a struct. A struct. And this is a... Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it shouldn't allow me to do this. I think that's just IntelliSense fail. If I try to build it, yeah, definitely. Cannot convert from initializer list to menu entry. Yeah, so the problem is here, the in-place back doesn't work. I would need to have a, I would need to add a menu entry here, right? I think so. Me, let's call it me, for short. Something like this, right? Then I need to have it in every, no, even that doesn't exist. Initializer listed menu entry. Cannot convert. Okay, so it does return a void, but it doesn't allow me to put a thing. Interesting. Okay, so std, let's look for it. Std function as lambda. I cannot pass lambda as std function. Okay, let's see what's going on here. This is not specific to lambda. Const std string. Okay. It's because lambda function is not an std function. What kind of function is it? Std function t const std string. What the hell is this? A reference? Why is the reference at the end? Why is it? Oh, it's a reference to the function. I see. No, that's the reference to the function. Okay, so why doesn't this work? Oh, I forgot to add one here. This is why. So yeah, the unfortunate thing is that I have to add these to every entry, unreferenced format parameter. Okay, yeah, I'm not referencing this one. So okay, it does work. So I am passing a reference to the entry itself. But the annoying thing is that the lambda, you need to add these. Can you do auto for parameters or something? C++ auto parameters in lambda. Lambda function parameters can now be auto to let the compiler deduce the type. Okay, can you do the auto? But it's not doing anything. So if I just do auto, okay, so that works. If I just say auto without the name, okay, that works. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Okay, that's one way to do it. But what are the warnings? I'm wondering about what are the warnings. There was a thing that it said something about warning me unreferenced, signed and signed in. Okay, we have a sign unsigned. Selected I is size T. Okay, we're gonna just convert it to. Oh, my laundry is over. I'm gonna have to run to my laundry. And sign unsigned mismatch. Yeah, and then we have a sign unsigned mismatch here as well. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. I can just put auto. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that is how I can reference the entry itself. So instead of getting entries like this, what I can do is I can say menu entry, or you can say entry, and then I can just say, where is it? Entry, I forgot, there it is, entry, and I can just say instead of this entry title. But here's the problem. Is this, does auto deduce references or not? Is it gonna actually change it? So let's see. Okay, let's actually use auto here. So now there should be no warnings. Doesn't seem like there are any warnings. Yeah, cool. No warnings. Except for those gigantic link warnings. Anyway, let's see. Change label. Yeah, it doesn't change. And why doesn't it change? Because auto doesn't deduce references. Yes. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. So you need to put a reference in there. You see, this is a foot gun that if you don't know, there it is. It actually works. This is like if you're not smart enough, and by smart enough, I mean if you haven't encountered this problem before, because I did, you would easily just, and the output doesn't actually say anything. The error doesn't even say anything. Okay, there are some linking errors, but not the code errors. It doesn't even tell you, you know what, this should be a reference. This should also be a reference, even though nothing is being used. Okay, so yes, entry title now is different. All right, so this is how I can actually change the title of something, right? If I say that, for example, I can say int increment this. I can say 0. And so I could have a menu entry, menu entries dot and place back, and I can say increment, and I'm gonna just have this, and then this thing entry, it's gonna be a lambda that is gonna change the label to be is gonna be increment. Yeah, let's do a std format. Well, std format, and it's gonna be increment and increment this, but also at the same time I'm also going to increment it in the same action. Increment this plus plus. Whoops. Plus plus. Sorry for not typing everything in its new rows. Now we have a few statements. Increment this, there it is, and this also needs to be, yeah, an end of statement. Wait a minute, there's a missing piece. Oh, what the hell is going on? Okay, first off, this is a lambda, right? And the lambda needs to end. The lambda needs to end here. There it is. Okay, now it makes sense. Why is this moving everything back? Okay, there is a problem. Yes, there is a problem with brackets somewhere. Okay, in place back, right? In place back this. Oh, this is an extra. Here we go. Okay, that's the problem. But what does it say? Oh my God, it has no member label. Yeah, it doesn't have label, it has title. Okay, and of course, I need to close this one. Oh my God, so many brackets. So yeah, we have a lambda that increments this, and we do a std format of increment. And actually, this should be the same as this. Yeah, because this is the initial text as well. But here's the thing. I wonder if this is even going to work. Yeah, it should work because this is an std string. Nobody in the chat yet, so I'm not even sure if it works. Hopefully it does. So let's try it. We have a menu. There we go. We have change label. It works. Increment. There it is. Increment 1, 2, 3. And now we made a cookie clicker, right? Or a space clicker, or an enter clicker. Here we go. 100. 101. Okay, yeah, we can go all the way until we overflow at 2 billion. Let's go there. Let's go to 2 billion. No, I'm joking, of course. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, let's just crash. There we go. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We can do that. Oh, why do I have double quit? That's why I had this glitch at the bottom. For no reason. Okay, and what is this? Why is there an error on the bottom? There should be no errors. Let me also submit this to the menu. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now let me add this to fork. Oh, shit, I didn't move to PC. Oh yeah, I did this before. Moved most things to PCH, to precompiled headers, so that the compilation is faster, but I don't see if it is even faster or not. Okay, so let's submit this, that I've added entry now passed to the confirm. Okay, so now let's implement left and rightness. So basically what I want to do is I want to have a thing that in-game menu, in the menu, of course, I talked about this earlier, that, you know, there are going to be those things which are confirm based, right? If you have an option, you just say enter and you confirm, like confirm, unconfirm. Yeah, which is all the things I have. But I want to add a thing which is which has arrows, like volume, you know? You want to change the volume percent or something like that. And this is like left and right, and you can click left and right, AD, you know, to change it. So I want to add that option. And basically what I'm going to have is I'm going to have another function. And in this case, it's going to be it's not going to be on confirm. It's going to be on left right. No, let's call it on I don't know, on move, on increment, I guess. And into the function, I'm going to pass in a number, and this number is going to be a difference. So let's just call it the value. And so, do we actually need a reference to the menu entry or not? I guess we do. I guess we still do. So, what this means is that in the menu entry, right, we can add a new entry which is going to be incrementable. Okay, let's, instead of increment on confirm, let's call this increment on confirm. On confirm. Let's actually add that as a new thing. Okay, I'm going to add a new one, employees back, and I'm gonna, instead of this, I'm gonna say, yeah, let's just call it increment something. Let's call it change value. Simple. Okay, and we're gonna have some kind of a backing value. So this is gonna be my value. Great naming. Okay, let's call it test value, just so that it's a little bit different. Okay, so now that we have that, what we can do is we can do a lambda, and this lambda is going to have the entry. And actually, we're not going to use the entry. We're just going to do a, yeah, actually, let's do an entry. But the most important thing, oh, well, here's the thing. We don't have a confirm. So, yeah, this is going to be a null pointer, because that's the first thing. But the second lambda, because, yeah, why this? Because the first is the title, right? That's it. Then the second is this, and the third is this. So I want this, which is on increment. And on increment is going to be a, of course, we're not going to have that. We're going to need to have another value, which is the int value, right? And we're going to close that. And that one is going to change the test value by value. There we go. So this test value is going to change by the value, right? And yeah, now we have to implement that. Why does this error still keep happening here? Because I don't think it should be, there shouldn't be any value. So now, increment and confirm, this is change value. Okay, so if we have to say that for each of the menu entries, right, if selected, if confirm, okay, so here is what we're going to do. If engine input get key down, and we're going to do, oh, and not any key down, but key down, key A. When you press A, we're going to increment, okay, here's the thing. Let's put it into a value. I'm going to say int value, and we're going to call it, if key down is A, then it's going to be -1, else if A input, you know what, there's actually a way to do it. Key pressed, key, didn't I have that somewhere where you have like an axis, smooth value axis? No, I don't want smooth value. There definitely is a function that I added for this exact thing, smooth key. Negative, positive, soft sign, smooth key. Well, I guess it's not in the engine. Key pressed. Yeah, I have a feeling it's not in the engine. It's probably in my, where I'm passing two keys. You have a negative key, you have a positive key. Negative, positive. Yeah, I do have it's in the smooth value axis, but not in the real. Okay, anyway, what is this? It says this member can be made const. Nice. Okay, well, I can make all these things const, which is nice. Thank you. Thank you, Visual Studio. Anyway, this thing, I'm going to say if key down is D, we're going to +1 or 1, else we're going to 0. There it is. So if value is not 0, we're going to invoke if menu entries one on increment exists, right? If it's not a null pointer, just like what I did above, then I'm going to call menu entries I on increment, and we're going to call first argument is of course menu entries I, and the second is value. So there we go. So if it is an incrementalist, then we're going to do this. But of course, I also had this menu item thing. I don't know. Should I actually? Yeah, here's the thing. If it does have the title here should actually show, where is this? Begin, set, yeah, there it is. Text centered. This centered text should have arrows if it's left and right. Okay, but first off, let's do this. Let's do this. So yeah, if I'm changing the value left to right, it should have a test value. Oh, right, but I also need to change the title. Oh, you know what? Let's just do an info first, which is going to be changed value. And I'm just going to say value here, right? And it should output it. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Does it compile? Does it compile? Oh my god, it's so slow. I don't know why it's so slow, but yeah, anyway. Okay, increment on confirm. There it is. It works. On confirm. Confirm. Yeah. Change value. There it is. Oh, it's not working. It's not working because I'm not adding. Because this is outputting the value, not the test value. Okay. Yeah. I hope it's not because of the std function stuff that it compiles forever. Because if I need to compile this every time, I hope it's not going to be a problem. Okay, increment and confirm, change value, there it is. Okay, so we go up, there it is, and we go down. Okay, so let's change the text now. Let's change the text itself. I'm gonna just point the entry, well, here it is, because I have a reference. And I'm gonna say the entry title is, let's do std format. I need to remember that I'm not in Zig, so I need to use special keys. Std format, I'm just gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna do change value and this, and then we're gonna have the test value. Okay, here we go. So hopefully that will change the value on the title, in the title as well. The chat is surprisingly quiet. Is anybody there? Okay, there it is. Here we go. We can change the values left and right. Yeah, and it looks like it's aligning itself pretty nicely, even though I'm going up and down through the values. That's nice. Okay. So yeah, that works. That works. Hello, Wazzy says ciao. Okay, so yeah, it works. The chat, the Twitch app actually works now. Good. That is that. I was actually interested in that to see if they fixed it because I updated it on my phone. Okay, so yeah, now that we have the left and right, and we can change values, and we can even confirm as I say, and I can change the values, and I can do stuff, and I can even quit. One thing that I want to do is I want to add automatically for everything that you can increment. I don't want to do a special title. Yeah, by the way, let me try this because this could be a thing. Yeah, so when you're in this, you can do a left and right. There it is. There it is. It works. That's nice. That's nice. And it looks nice. Yeah, one thing that I don't like is that you can't you can't repeat the key. Okay. So that's one thing that I might want to add. I don't have that in the engine, although that's the problem. Key down, because I have a key down, but I don't have a key repeat. On GLFW press, I think that there's a special action, right? E action is GLFW repeat. Repeat, yes. I think it's a special one. It's a special one. Key down. Key down. Yeah, it should be a repeat as well. I don't know if I should pass an optional or I should make a new. Maybe I should do a new method. A new method for that. Yeah, because it's only here that I actually want it. Most of the time you don't want to repeat. Key down. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it quickly. So I'm just gonna copy this. And I'm gonna say a key was down. What the hell is this? I don't know. A key was up. A key was up, return false. If a key was up. Yeah, now I need to remember what I was doing here. A key was down. What was this? I don't know, but I'm going to convert this to key release. And yeah, and this is going to also be the key release, but it takes a key instead. And this should call key release. And of course, we should add this to the, yeah, there it is. Add a declaration, add declaration. There we go. Just keep press this frame. I have no idea what this is. But let's just pretend that everything is fine. GLFW release. Okay. So let's actually try. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. This should be repeat, not release. Here, repeat. Key down, key down, key up, key repeat. Okay. glfw repeat. There it is. Okay, so whether this should be a key is down, I have no idea. Or not, because I'm not sure what I was doing there. Of course, I need to repeat. Okay, let's try to use that, and I'm gonna have to rebuild the engine, I guess, now that I've added these two, which is exactly the right time. Key pressed. Yeah, I said key released. Wazzy here says. Yeah, let's do a repeat. Repeat. Where am I actually reading the value? Yeah, let me actually do not in a for each, but let's do a global one. Yeah, I have a confirm, but I'm gonna add a, let's call it horizontal value. Because that's sort of in Unity you would call this a horizontal, an A or D. Yeah, let's just say left or right. Yeah, okay, it's much more, it's much easier to understand what it is. If left or right is zero, is not zero, yeah. Confirm. Okay, so instead of key down, let's try to use key repeat. And let's see if this is gonna work. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna rebuild the engine, and meanwhile, while I'm rebuilding the engine, I'm gonna go and what is going on here? Oh yeah, left or right. Left or right. I'm gonna go and set up at least a part of my laundry onto the wire. So let's see if this works. It's rebuilding. All right. All right. I'm back. Hello. And it has built, which is nice. I did put up most of my laundry, but there's a few more things that I'm gonna put up on the next break when I go make some tea or something. Okay, let's see how it works. Change value. Doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Okay, this one works. This one doesn't work. Okay, so there's something wrong with the key was down, I guess. My key was down. I don't know what I was doing here. Okay, let's remove the key was down. Maybe there's something wrong here. Hello there. Hello, Sleepy Mushroom. Nice to see you. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so it works now. But it doesn't do a on. So it does work on repeat, but it doesn't work now on key down. So you have to do that as well, right? You would have to do that. Yeah, I would need to do like if E input key down key A, or I could even do like a little lambda. Let's do a tiny lambda here. Down or key down or repeat, because why not? Okay, it has to be like this. Okay, and then I can just say do this, right? Return. Dude, just such a waste of lambdas. And then I'm gonna have a key that I'm gonna just pass in through like this. Key down or repeat. There it is. That's it. The whole thing. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, because I need to do a return. And then I can do a key down or repeat. And then I can do key A. There you go. Something like that. Key down or repeat D. There we go. Well, you know, it doesn't need to be a lambda. It could be just a normal function. I don't know if there is a difference in, like, if this is a pretty simple lambda, right? So if there is like a difference in cost. Oh, what is going on here? Wait, I didn't put a parenthesis correctly. If there's a difference in cost if you do a lambda or just a simple function. I mean cost as in at runtime it's probably the same. But at compile time, like it's interpreting these lambdas and stuff. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, then I would have to pass an engine in as well. And yeah, let's not do that. Let me try this now. If it's a key or... How do you build your Visual Studio project? I just do it. I just press F5 and there it is. It does build. I mean, it is using... I am using the Visual Studio compiler. But of course, I'm also using Premake to configure the project, if that's what you're talking about. So here I have a Premake file, which is basically a Lua file where this is where I have all these projects, and this is the setup. I set all my defines, include directories, filters, blah 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 blah, right? Whatever each project needs, because this is one solution with a bunch of projects. And then I just configure that, and that is what I built. Basic. Okay, let's see. There it is. And now you can increment values. Okay, so there we go. We can change values as much as we want. I can do I could do a volume now in the same way. But here's the thing. Should I make this, like, if I want to make another incrementable thing, I need to add, if I say like volume, and I would need to have, let's do volume here. Just let's call it volume value. And volume value, let's increment it by 5. Value by 5, and change the value. And let's also clamp it. So I'm gonna do a, do I have, no, this is only GL. I don't have math here. Clamp, no. Okay, I'm just gonna do like volume value less than 0, else volume volume value more than 100, then 100, else what? Else 0, else volume value. Okay, that should be it, right? I should be able to increase and then change value, and I can say change value percent. Oh, well, this should be volume, right? Well, it should be volume, and let's not have this info. Yeah, and then if we want to, for each of these entries, I need to copy this, right? I need to have all the same stuff. So it would be nice to somehow add it as a feature, like you want to have an incrementable thing, so automatically put it like this, formatted with the wedges and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be cool to add, but let's think about later. Should say configure. Yes, sleepy mushroom. Yes, I did say pre-make, so configure. Okay, so yes, volume, there it is. Oh shit, what is going on? What is going on? It doesn't work for some reason. For some reason it's stuck. What the hell? Why is it stuck? This is strange. Test value. Oh yeah, let's not, wait a minute. Volume value. Less than 0, 0. Okay, else if more than 100, 100. Else volume value. Okay, that makes sense. But then, and then we're gonna change it to, do I need to escape a percent? No, I don't need to. Oh, I'm showing the test value. That's the problem. I need to display the volume value. Damn it. You see, that's why. That's why I have these foot guns everywhere. There we go. Oh, but it doesn't show percent. It doesn't show percent. So there must be a way to escape it or something. Should you escape a percent? Do you need to escape a percent? I have no idea. Escape sequence. Oh, it said something about unknown escape sequence. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work. So it gets confused about a percent or something. What the hell? Why doesn't it work? Yeah, and then the initial value is not is incorrect as well, because I would need to have an initial value. So yeah, let's see. Std format percent. There's something wrong with this. Percent. Well, I don't know if it knows percent. There's no percent mentioned. Percent. How to add percent sign in Streak format. What is the Swift in using Swift language? You should try a double percent. You think so? Let's see. That's funny. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that earlier. Oh yeah, there it is. I didn't know about that. But what does percent do? Does it have some... Yeah, and there it is. Nice. You can go up and down by 5 increments. What does percent actually do? I wonder. There we go. So we have a nice increment and decrementer. So, yeah, I wonder why do we need to... I thought that all these skip sequences use this, right? So I'm confused. I've never encountered this before. Okay, so let's add that. Oh yeah, I changed the engine. Added key repeat. Added key repeat to the engine. Nice. And then main. Here we're gonna have added incrementing with and okay. So what do we have done so far? We have done oh, nice. This is exactly what I imagined. We have done point to entry itself to change the text. Done. Left, right, increment, decrement as std function. Done. Changing between different menus. Yeah, this is something. Increment, decrement, percent. Yeah, I did actually that. But also I want to generify this. Generify it. Is that a thing you can say? Like I want to not have to write it the same time again, or abstract it away. So that I don't have to repeat it. Wazi says it starts escape sequence like at percent %d for integers. But here's the thing. I thought that format uses brackets, not the printf style. Not the printf style things. Does it actually work with printf style as well? Like, can I write %i for integer? Is that a... It doesn't say anything. Just to guess. Oh, it doesn't work. I don't know what this is. Okay, it definitely is. Maybe this is a pointer. Is this a pointer? Okay, it definitely does something. The percent definitely does something, but it doesn't do what I was... Yeah. So I thought that the formatting actually exclusively uses the brackets, so it wouldn't have a problem with percent. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's parameterize this somehow. Yeah, so I actually want to do... I don't know, should we add a bool or something for this? Maybe I can say here... I don't know, left, right, brackets. Yeah. Would there ever be Okay, let's do left right for all of these. So where I'm actually putting a text centered. Text centered, I'm passing it text centered. And what am I doing with the text centered? It's a it's a char star. Okay. Yeah, where am I actually using text centered? There it is. So for the centered text, yeah, title, sister. Yeah, so basically what I want to do is if menu entries dot on increment is null pointer, do this. Okay, if it is a null pointer, else if it's not, we're gonna use the brackets notation. Okay, so how are we gonna format this? Text centered. I do need to make a new string, right? Well, this is gonna be expensive. So can I do something else? Text centered, imgui text. This just, aha, it does include a format. It does actually format things. Okay, I'm gonna do this manually, right? I'm gonna redo this. Window width, get window size, text width, text size, text. Ah, but I need to pass it a text. That's a problem. Okay. Can I somehow keep the formatted text so that I don't need to do it every frame? So can I std format here? I don't think so. Like, wouldn't this be unsafe? Doing this? Well, not the brackets. Text centered, yeah. Oh yeah, I need to, if I grab a sister in a temporary std format, because this is a temporary string, I think this is going to break the game, but let's try. Let's try. Unsafe. Okay, so it does work. It does work. Okay. But yeah, the unfortunate thing is I'm building this one every frame, right? I'm allocating this every frame, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, I mean, I could do this, right? And I could say that the format is menu entries I. Okay, but I still need to change. Yeah, it would be great. Oh, what happened? What does the output say? Assert fail, cannot format an argument. Cannot format entries. Oh yeah, of course. This is tittle. The tittle tattle. Okay, there it is. Except that now we have the double brackets. So I can now take these brackets out. I don't need these. That's one thing. Okay, since we have the brackets, we don't have to type them. But the problem is that I also have the the value. But the value also needs a, yeah, the value also has the units and stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be a percent or something. And this should also point to the initial percent. So here, oh, what if I can do this? Menu entries. Oh, doesn't place back return a reference? It does. Let's do a reference to this volume entry. Okay, volume entry. And then what if I can invoke an increment? Oh shit. It needs itself. Well, volume entry. It needs itself, and it's gonna be a 0 argument. Okay, so this is how you can force it to update. It is a little bit, yeah, it is a little bit weird, but that's a way. That's a way how to do it. There it is. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It would be great to actually format this with the value itself. But yeah, the menu entry is just an interface for the value. I'm not gonna store the value inside. But and I also need to be able to modify the string. So I think I'm just gonna keep it this way. I'm just gonna keep it this way, and the entries are just gonna be like this. You have to move the value. Well, I can always add more lambdas to simplify things. I could say increment by 5 or something. Could I actually do that? Well, it needs to then capture the lambda. Oh my god, this is gonna be convoluted, but let's try. I can say increment by 5. And, oh yeah, this is gonna be a lambda. Actually, I'm not gonna capture anything. So it is a little bit easier, but I am going to grab a pointer, a reference to a value, okay? And this value, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this to the value, right? We're gonna increment it by 5, increment by 5, and this is gonna be by, okay, and this is gonna be 5 by, great stuff, great logic. Okay, and then we can do this, right? Increment by 5%. Okay, so then what I can do, let's close this lambda. Wait a minute, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Oh no, nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. Increment by 5%. So I can change this. I can replace this whole thing with increment by 5, and I can just pass in the volume value, and the by is going to be value. So there we go. And it does all the stuff inside it. my God, this is the convoluted C++ stuff. I hope this is not gonna stop. This is not gonna make my my game grind to a halt when it comes to compile speeds. There it is, and now we can do that. And now I can reuse this for other stuff. But yeah, I still need to have this format thing. Yeah, so I do double formatting. I do a format here. Yeah, that's the annoying thing. I do formatting here, so I create a string, and then I do another formatting in here by creating a string just to add these brackets. Yeah, this is something that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of. Yeah. But to be able to calculate the size, that's the problem. The problem is calculating the size. Because text-centered calculates the size using the text. So I need to have the text. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Let's not spend so much time on this. I might make it more complicated later. Okay, let's move on. Increment, generified. Well, let's say that I did it. Let's say that I did it, although I didn't. But this is the closest that I could do. I'm gonna think about it again later. Increment by 5%. Yeah, I mean, this is the stuff that you need to write. So it's not that much, 4 lines, right, for each of the things. So if I want to have another thing, which I'm gonna call, I don't know, graphics. Let's change graphics percent. I would need to replace this. I would need to change the value, which in this case, let's just keep it calling value. Oh, okay, let's do graphics value. Graphics value, okay. And the only thing I need to do is I need to plug that one in, and that's it. That's the whole thing. No, it's not it. This is the whole thing. Okay. So I could do that by adding a lambda that does the whole thing. Yeah, maybe I could do that, but yeah, let's think about it later. Oh, there's a problem. There's a problem because these are the same things. Let's call this graphics entry. And okay, so I'm thinking about something. What if I have some kind of a repaint value instead? If changing this thing calls a repaint instead, so that I can just call a repaint on the whole thing. I wonder if this would work. Instead of having to call this. Oh wait, since this returns, I could actually chain this. Would this work? Would this work? Dot on increment. No. So this, oh, it does work. It does work. Okay. Well, it is a little bit dirty and very unreadable. Very unreadable, but volume entry undeclared identifier. Oh, it needs a self. Well, yeah, that's impossible then, because it needs to have a reference to itself. Well, here's the thing. I could actually force this. I could force an update by running a range for entry in menu entries, and I could do a if entry has a on left right, what's the name of it, on increment, why is it so, okay, if it's not null pointer, just on increment entry 0, basically. So this triggers an update of everything, but with nothing, of course, because I'm just not incrementing anything. So then I don't need this, and I don't need the volume entries. I don't need to grab a reference to these. Okay, well, that is a lot more simple. That is a lot more simple. Let's see if it builds. Okay. Yeah, it did repaint. Graphics there. I can change the graphics. I can change the volume. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can live with that. I can live with that. Yeah, let's quit. Okay, so before I go to the next thing, changing between different menus. Yes. Yeah, let's call this generified. Whoa, I changed actually a lot. Okay, I'm gonna call this that I generified incrementing and decrementing. Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that I'm actually changing the value every time that I'm using this. At least this doesn't work every frame. At least this is when I input. But this one does work every frame, and this is what I don't like. If there's a way to allocate this without having to update it every time, that would be cool. Maybe I could store a buffer somewhere of a string and then change that buffer and then pass that into the center text. That could be a solution instead of formatting, because formatting returns a new string. Anyway, yeah, let me think about the minutia, the details later. So before I move on, generified incremented I mean, it's not decrementing or incrementing. Before I move on, I want to go and make some tea. That's what I want. Okay, but next thing on the line, changing between different menus. So I want to have different sets of menus. Like when you enter an option, you're going to have another set of things, right? So yeah, let's figure how to do that. So see you in a minute, and I'm gonna put the rest of the laundry up in the meantime. See you. right, sorry about that. I did not forget about a stream. I was just putting up stuff, my laundry to the wire, and there was a lot of little stuff. Socks, knickers. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the menu. The Menu. Have you seen The Menu, by the way, the movie? I saw it quite recently, actually, a few weeks ago, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, so let's try to switch between the entries. And this is what I'm thinking about. Right now, I have a vector of menu entry, which is menu entries, right? and I'm showing these for each menu entries, right? But I have a different idea. I have a different idea, and that is to actually use a pointer. And the pointer I can basically use, yeah, so I want to switch these menu entries, right? So yeah, what do I want? What's my goal? My goal is to have, for example, you have options, and then you click on the options, and then it changes completely all the options, all the menus, right? So I want to do so which the GUI needs to know which menus to draw, right? So I switch between one menu category and the other menu category. And so the way of the switching can be done with a pointer, because a pointer can be null or it can point into something. So instead of using the menu entries to point into things, did I submit everything? Yes. I could have a pointer to the std_vector menu entry. Okay, and I can have this as a pointer, and I can say menu to show, for example, right? And I can initialize it to null pointer. So by doing this, what's the problem? Okay, there's no problem. By initializing this to null pointer, I can just say, okay, if there is no menu to show, do nothing, right? I'm gonna just put everything. You know what? Let's do this. Let's say if menu to show. Why is IntelliSense so slow today? I don't know. If menu to show is not null pointer. Yeah, and that's basically it. I already have the scope, right? I can just say don't show or show. So right now the menu to show is null pointer. So it should draw nothing. If the game is completely empty, completely devoid of everything, it works. Boom, nothing shows, so it works. Perfect. This is actually exactly what I want, because then I can set the menu to show to menu entries. And since I set this to menu entries, then it should be able to show my menu. There it is. And look at that. I can actually modify it now. Okay, so now this thing that I'm using if needs to use that for everything. But let's just, instead of menu entries, okay, which is everywhere, I'm gonna do a menu entries. Yeah, let's do let's do a reference. Let's, yeah, that's gonna be menu entries. And then I'm gonna convert that. Yeah, I'm basically gonna dereference menu to show. And if it's null pointer, I already make sure that this is never gonna be a null reference, null dereference, right? But the problem is, of course, that menu entries already exists over here, which is bad. So I'm actually going to convert this into, let's call it the main menu entries or something like that. Main menu entries. I wonder if it's gonna be able to refactor this or not. Whoa, oh my god, it's taking forever. Candidates to rename are gathered. Oh my god. It's one file. You can't even do that. Okay, fuck this. Fuck this. I'm just gonna do it manually. Okay, main menu entries. Okay. Why is IntelliSense so slow? Is it just because of the functions and everything, the function pointers? I hope it's not. Okay, so yeah, these are all the main menu entries. For each entry, do an on increment. And that should be it. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, this should actually be changing anything. You know, this should all be inside menu entries to show. Okay, let's do menu input. Actually, let me do another one. If not menu to show is not null pointer, like here. Menu input. Okay, and we're gonna put all this, well, key down and repeat. Yeah, the problem is that I'm actually initializing it here. No, let's not do that. Let's move this, the whole thing. I'm gonna move it into here after menu entries. And this is gonna be input, menu input, and this is gonna be menu drawing. Okay, so we have the input side and we have the drawing side. All right. So this is not going to be menu entries. Oh yeah, it is going to be menu entries. So it is correct. Are there any other problems? Let's see. Let's try to build. Okay, it does work. I don't think I need to check, but yeah, there it is. Okay, so to be able, the most important thing is let's make another menu, right? Since we have these main menu entries, let's do credits menu or something like that. So I'm gonna do another vector of menu entries, and that's gonna be credits. For example, that's just for the test. And for the credits, I'm gonna do in place back. I'm gonna do a like back function. That's first thing. But the first is just going to say notke. Okay, so notke is the credit. And the back, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a lambda that the only thing it does is it's going to set it's going to set the menu to show to be, it's going to set the menu to show to be main menu entries. So basically, it's going to revert to this. So this is how we do in navigation, right? The credits sets this to go to main menu, and then my main menu is going to set the credits instead of saying just info. Yeah, it's going to set this to credits. But of course, I need to initialize them before because it doesn't know that. Yeah, let's also reserve, just as I did here. Let's reserve 32. Well, I need just 2, so no need to do anything. Credits reserve, main menu entries reserve, and then what credits can do, instead of saying spidlog info, it's just going to say main menu entries. Main menu to show is going to become at credits. And let's see if that works. Man, IntelliSense is so slow today. What is going on? Okay, so I can go through the whole thing, right? I can convert, I can change values. But when I click on credits, boom, it actually changes it to a different menu. My God, it actually works. So Notke does nothing. There's no confirm or anything. But back is going to revert me to the previous menu. There it is. Oh my God, it actually works. It actually totally works. It actually totally works. Oh, but you know what? First, we need to reset the menu to the original value. So yeah, we definitely. So yeah, there we have we have done everything that I was planning to do actually today. So, except implementing it into, adding it into Shakedown. But now it's different. You can have different menus. You can enter them. That's great. That's great. I'm satisfied. Okay. Yeah, let's quit and let's do a. So yeah, you can switch to the different menus through the lambdas themselves. But I do need to reset my menu selected entry when I'm actually moving. So I'm thinking about adding some kind of a lambda that says switch to menu. Okay, let's do a const auto switch to menu. And I'm going to do an, yeah, let's take a reference to the menu. Okay. Oh, switch to menu. That's going to be a lambda. Yeah, and I'm going to say the options selected over here. So now I can say selected is 0, right? I can reset and I can say that menu to show is main. Oh yeah, I can say at menu. Well, yeah, and menu, but pointer to menu. So instead of using menu to show equals credits, I'm just going to say switch to menu, menu to show. There we go. Oh, no, switch to menu credits. That's what it meant. Switch to menu credits, and in the credits, we're going to switch to menu main menu entries, right? So this makes sure that the option is going to be reset. Yeah, but the problem is that now that we have nested lambdas, Jesus, this is it's probably the compiler is working hard to figure out what I'm trying to do here. Okay, let's go to credits. There it is. It has actually set it to 0. And yeah, I can go back. Oh, but the credits shouldn't change. Maybe it should go back to the original value. If I was okay, so that means that the menus should hold values. Huh. Okay. That is actually interesting. Maybe I'm gonna have to make the menus be a class on its own, a struct, because in that case I can keep the value of the last index that was selected inside the menus themselves. Or maybe this is something that can be overridden by the user. Yeah, because if you say back, I mean, what I could do is I could also select it as 1. I could do that. I could do manually. But yeah, then I need to know where it is in the previous menu. It should be easy to use. And I don't have to care about it. So if I go back, there it is. It keeps on the credits. I'm not going to have a lot of nested menus. That's the thing. So maybe I don't need to do this, but what I can do is I can go back. Yeah. Maybe I should do a struct. I could keep an option inside. Yeah, let's try adding it as a separate struct. Let's do that. Okay, so yeah, let's wrap it up into thing. Main menu. Okay, so multiple menus. Okay, well, let's do that. Okay, let me make another struct, which is gonna be just stuck, which is gonna be called the menu. And a menu is going to convert is gonna be a vector of menu entries, and it's gonna be called entries. So that's like menu.entries now. And by default, it's going to be empty. Yeah, but maybe I can reserve in a constructor. Can you do this? If I do a constructor, entries dot reserve. Let's do a like size t capacity. Okay, and then I can reserve that. But I am going to add them individually. So maybe I can do something like, okay, let's do a class. because this is, and then make everything public. Because if it does have methods, I like to call them classes. Okay, so now that we have this, oh, of course, we need to have a semicolon at the end of classes, classic. Also, the interesting thing in Zig as well, you have to put a semicolon at the end. Reserve. Okay. So now what we can do is we can, instead of the main menu entries, we can do menu. Oh, and of course, let's wrap up the int selected, and it's gonna be 0 by default. Okay, so instead of this, we're gonna do menu, main menu, and let's initialize to 32, and then we're also gonna have credits, and we're gonna do, yeah. So instead of main menu entries, now we have and no credits and no menu to show. Okay, yeah, this we're gonna point into the menu instead. Menu to show is null pointer, and then we have the main menu entries. Yeah, it should point into the main menu. For the beginning, increment this, selected, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's remove selected because we don't need selected anymore. That's going to be menu dependent. Oh, shit. But now I can manipulate selected. Switch to menu. Okay, let's not have switch to menu. Instead, I'm going to set it myself. Okay, and now we have to basically switch this main menu entries. So this now becomes this. Okay, main menu entries, 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 main menu entries. Okay, and that's it. Oh, switch to menu doesn't exist anymore. Instead, we're just going to say menu to show equals credits again. Okay. And then we have the credits, which are now credits entries dot in place back. And we don't have switch to menu. Instead, we're going to do menu to show equals at main menu entries. There we go. Oh, it's going to call its main menu. Okay, so for each entry in main menu dot entries, there we go. That's it. That's nothing changes here. Okay, so now everything changes here because main menu entries, that's going to be the menu. Can I actually, okay, let's rename that later because this now becomes menu entries dot selected. And that comes here as well. And oh, and of course, this should wrap around. And we should put that wrapping around here. So, oops. This is now menu entries dot entries dot size dot entries dot size, and this is menu entries dot selected. There we go. And this is also dot selected. So it's per menu. Key down or repeat, blah, 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 blah. That should all work. What's going on? There is another bug that I can't see. It's here. Because main menu selected. Okay. And then menu entries Menu entries, entries, menu entries, menu entries selected, a confirm. Yeah, let's do an entry here. Menu entry, entry. This is going to be a reference. So let's just grab menu entries. Menu entries, entries I. So instead of this, we're going to do that thing. Whoops. Whoops, I grabbed a parenthesis as well. And we can do an entry as well. And then we can do entry. Well, it's actually a menu, but it's in this case it's menu entries because we haven't renamed it. Selected. And then finally we have an entry here. Right? Yeah. And this is an entry as well. And this is an entry. And this is an entry as well. All right. There we go. And okay, so let me also rename this just to menu instead of menu entries because now it's, oh my god, IntelliSense, come on. Menu, please. This should be called just the menu. Oh my god. Come on. Do you really need forever for this? Okay, there we go. Select the selected. Yes, let's just say okay. Apply. Okay, there it is. Now it says menu. Menu. Selected, menu size, blah blah blah, menu, 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 menu. Okay, let's build. Let's build and let's see if it still works. Ah, it builds. That's a good sign. Here we go. We have a selection works, credits, it works. Go back and it stays on the same index. Cool, nice. There we go. We can switch between. Which is nice. Quit. Cool. So that's great. Let's make an options, just so that we can move it into a different thing. Okay, let's also say that I've added menu class abstraction. Okay, so now let's add options. Okay. It's going to be 32 as well. And so instead of credits, we're going to do options, entries in place. Yeah, let's move graphics into it. Graphics volume. And then this is going to be options. Options, entries. Options, entries in place back volume. Volume, 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 volume. Graphics, and then let's also add back, just like I did in credits. Options. I can actually categorize them as with the scopes a bit. Something like that. Hopefully that doesn't do any harm. And this is the main menu. Of course, I have the volume values and stuff. Okay, let's do here values, settings, values. Okay, hold the settings values. Let's put them into here. And that's going to be the test value as well. And then we can do a main menu. Can have a this, but I'm also going to move this lambda outside so that we can reference it. Okay, there we go. We've cleaned it up a bit. We have the main menu, and we're going to add options here. We're going to add options, and this options is just going to switch to options. That's all. That's all. Let's see if I've managed to... Did I manage to like implement an options menu in like 3 minutes right now? Thanks to my wonderful abstractions. If I did, okay, we have drive, it does something, change a label, increment, changing the value in menu. You go to credits, not okay, you go back, you go into options. Oh my god, you can change the volume, you can change the graphics. Look at that, and you go back, and it's back in options. That's it. It actually works. It actually works. We can just go through all the options. You know, it would be actually nice to have escape as going back. Maybe I can add that into the menu. Escape behavior or something like that. How it's different. Now it's different. Yeah, there we go. I did manage to implement a little menu in like 3 minutes. Separate menu. Through the abstractions that I spent several hours on making. So that's good. That's good progress. That's good progress. The tea is really good, by the way. Okay. So, changing between different menus, done. Find out how to change ImGUI background color. Oh, yeah. I actually wanted to do this. I actually wanted to change the color of the background. Like when you're pressing it and... Yeah. Increment by 5%. Anything else that I want to do? I think that's basically it. The next thing I want to do is I want to add it into Shakedown. So that would be cool. Find out how to change the ImGUI. Okay, let's try to find ImGUI change background color. Yeah, of course, it's it's one of the most set color borders to labels. I think it's a style thing. Yeah. Push style color. Push style color. Okay, let's see. Push style color. Yeah, let's actually do that before ImGUI. Why does IntelliSense not work today? For some reason, it's completely lost. My god, it's so slow. Loading member list. Okay. It's called push style. My god, come on, start working. God damn it. What is wrong with it? Why is it so slow? Push style color. And then the style color is what? ImGUI call. God damn it. Background. Yeah, there's no background. Border, button, header. Separator, tab, window. Oh, window BG. I guess window BG. Okay, let's do imgui. Is there black? Is there red? Is there color? Imgui color. Red. I think there is a way to do imgui colors. Imgui colors. I did it somewhere. No, I made a mistake. It's not that. I think there is a way to do some colors in imgui, but I can't remember. Well, I wish that it would have been helpful. Imgui. But yeah, let's see. Color. Well, I can use NTK color actually to convert. And so yeah, let me use include NTK. No, it should be color utils. Okay, that's the one. So in my color utils, you can actually convert. You have a color struct that you can convert to anything you want. And I have a bunch of colors that I'm using. So I can just say here NTK color azure. Let's go with chartreuse. Okay, and then I'm gonna convert that to as U32, which is the imgui U32 basically. Okay, and then I'm gonna pop style color, right? That's what I'm gonna do. For after the for pop style color count. Yeah, that's the only one. Let's see if this works. Okay, wow, it's so bright. That's nice. Looks cool. Looks cool. Okay, but at least I can change the color. And yeah, the text color is now too bright to see anything. But that's cool. It looks nice. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily need to be black. That's the thing. Is there something wrong with the margins? Or am I blind? I'm blind. Yeah, just because the color is so bright. Okay, so yeah, but I can also push style for only the selected. I can just say, push style chartreuse and then pop style chartreuse for this one. And yeah, I could even confirm. On confirm, I can change the color. Oh, the background alpha is actually... Does it work? Wait a minute. It should be chartreuse. So what is going on here? Oh, is it because it needs to be before everything? Set next window. Ah, that's the problem. if menu select. Yeah, I need to begin. So if menu selected, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna pop it at the end. But that's also gonna be if selected. Oh, you know what? Let's do a bool. Let's do a const bool selected. And I'm gonna just copy this whole thing. If selected. Yeah, selected. If selected, if selected. I don't need to do all these conversions 3 times in a row. And I'm just gonna say if selected imgui pop style, which imgui pop style color. Okay, there we go. So hopefully this will work. Let's crash it first. Okay, there it is. It is now dark, except for when I actually hover over it. So great, except that it's very hard to see. So let's use some different color. Yeah, by the way, I can use, yeah, let's do azure, but I'm gonna change the alpha. So this is one of the cool things. I can make it, I can saturate, or I can change it. I can multiply RGB, right, with a single value, which means you can darken it by just doing this. And then if you chain it, you can as U32. And here's the cool thing. This can actually be completely const expert. This can all just be compile time generated, and it is going to be in release for this one. So at the end you're just going to have this U32 after all this thing. Okay, I think after this I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to continue working on the menu. There it is. Cool, we have some color. So now that we have the menu, I can add it into Shakedown. And I am actually going to do that tomorrow, because right now this is done. Confirm, options, credits, right? Everything works. And you know what? I actually need to have a menu abstraction. I should move this into a separate class that I can move it into my game. Yeah, because this has nothing to do with Shakedown. I can just yeah, it would actually be nice to have a render as well here. Render menu, and it just does everything on the fly. But no, I think I'm just gonna move this into Shakedown directly like this. Because there's definitely gonna be some custom things to do. But it does sound like something that I can easily just put it outside and use it in any game. Yeah. There's nothing special about this, right? I can just make this into Yeah, I can actually turn this into a class, the whole menu drawing thing. I can turn it into a class that simply takes, yeah, the only changeable thing is the pointer to the menu to show. That's it. That's basically it. And everything else could be configurable actually. Height, margin, separation. Yeah. Yeah, I can actually add this into a class right now. I wonder if I should abstract it or not. Or maybe it's going to be easier to just do it in Shakedown. Yeah, let's do a class. Did I submit everything? Oh, please purchase fork. Okay, we'll do that someday, I promise. Yeah, added an options test menu, and background changing. Yeah. So done the background changing. That's all. And add the menu to Shakedown. Okay, let's not do that today. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But first I'm gonna abstract menu rendering into a separate class. So let's do a class menu renderer. And I'm gonna put all the stuff from here into a public that's gonna be void render, and we're gonna render the menu. Okay, menu to show. And so I'm gonna keep the pointer to menu to show, of course, which is gonna be menu pointer menu. Oh yeah, well, let's just put all the stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do the menu to show in here. That's one thing. Then we can put all the little bits that we have here. Oh, static window flags. Okay, let's move that as well inside. Yeah, and all the other bits are actually hard-coded. So that's the only thing that I have here. Text-centered. This doesn't need to be... Okay, since this is a lambda, I'm just going to put it in here. Okay. Menu to show. Yeah, that's the only variable that I have. But the thing is that, yeah, we're going to have to replace this menu drawing. Okay, so this all works except what is going on? There is some kind of requirement here. Oh, engine. Yeah, of course, it needs an engine. So I'm just going to pass it an engine. There it is. That's the only requirement. It just needs the engine to be passed to it. And menu to show now becomes, okay, I'm going to just add a menu renderer. Menu renderer. Let's do that. And I'm going to make the menu to show main menu equals main menu, and then, oh right, and then I have to change everything to that. Menu renderer, and finally, that's it. That's actually it. Finally, of course, we need to render. So menu renderer dot render. and we're going to pass it a reference to the engine. In this case, it's E. Oh my god, what happened here? Oh, you can scroll, by the way. That's a new thing in the new Visual Studio version. You can scroll up and down to have the extended list of everything. Yeah. So let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. So the render works. I'm not exactly sure if this is a good idea, but it does make it easier to move it into a separate file. Menu renderer. And yeah, maybe it can be part of the engine as well. I don't know. Menu renderer. Yeah, I'm gonna move that to the Shakedown project tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, there we go. We have a simple menu renderer, and yeah, I mean tomorrow I can also make the separations into since I have a class now, I can move the separation like out into the main menu renderer. And stuff like that, right? Okay. That being said, let's end today. Where is actually my increment? There's that. Oh yeah, that's actually over here. Yeah, one more thing that I didn't implement is escape. One more thing is that my input is also inside this class, which is annoying. I should pass the input into the menu render, I think. Yeah, that's always a problem with abstracting. Well, it's not much of a deal, so that's good. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I still have these settings values that I'm putting in, but of course that makes sense. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the amount of functions that I'm passing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. I'm concerned that it might choke up my compile times. but we'll see that. Okay, so we have these things. We can change values. You can enter options, change the volume. Oh, yeah, one more thing is that I didn't do a for each repaint. Where was I doing that? I think I'm doing that here. Yeah. Main menu entries. You know what? Let's move this to menu. Let's move this to menu. And I'm gonna call this repaint. Yeah, let's call this repaint. So void repaint. And yeah, let's do, well, did I just, okay, I cut without pasting. I'm gonna call this repaint. There we go. Okay, so for each of the entries, we don't need this. On increment is not null pointer. Do an on increment. Okay, so now that we have that, at the end of each thing, we can just do options repaint. And I can do main menu repaint. And I can do a credits repaint, although nothing happens in the credits repaint. Okay, well, there we go. The change value has changed. Options, yeah, it does work. Cool. There we go. We can change the percentages, change the graphics. We go back, changing the label, incrementing on confirm, everything works. I guess this weird flash when you get from confirming, it's a little bit weird. But instead of that, I should actually play a sound or something. That would be good. That would be cool to do. Yeah, that's why I'm not actually. I might actually move the whole thing into Shakedown instead of a class. Yeah, let me think about it until tomorrow. So I'm not gonna rush. I'm just gonna do this and then let's implement it in Shakedown. And now, okay, no, nothing. I see there's 6 viewers still watching. Good. You know, 2.5 hours plus 2 hours before earlier today. That's not bad. I actually implemented this pretty quickly, which is nice. Okay, so we can do some cool stuff, and oh yes, we then need to do now saving into the volume as well. So when you say back, there should be like reset to factory settings as well. I don't know. Something like that. Credits, drive. Of course, we need to have bindings as well. Let's pretend that I have some cars. What is this? Oh yeah, let's I'm just gonna say this abstracted moved rendering to menu renderer class. Yeah, let's try to do a list of some things, like a list of cars. like if you have a stud vector of stud string car names, and I'm gonna just do spec 17, I don't know, the tetro. Okay, that's the cars that I have. Moskvich. That should be with a V, I guess. Okay, so I have some car names, and here's the thing. I want to change the cars. Okay, in the menu, let's add instead of increment and confirm, let's copy the volume. And yeah, we also need to have current car, I guess. Current car is going to be 0. But when I take a thing, I'm going to do main menu, entries, and place back. And this is going to be car. This is going to be called car. And I'm going to say car. And that's just going to be the name of the car. And the value is going to be car value increment by 5%. It's going to be car names, current car. Okay, so hopefully this works. And then when you increment it, yeah, this is going to be an increment wrap. Can I do a wrap incrementation? The problem is that if I do current car plus equals current car modulo yeah, current car plus plus, or current car plus plus, but it's going to be modulo car names dot size instead of this. Okay, let's see if this is. The problem is that I think it's not going to work with the wrapping around 0. That's where it's going to fail. And this should also be an I32 because it's going to complain about mismatch. Car names, current car, title. Okay, let's see. And then I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, there are no cars. Oh, there it is. Tetro Moskvich. There it is. Okay, it does work. Spec 17 Tetro Moskvich. And it goes up as well. Spec 17 Tetro Moskvich. Spec 17 Tetro Moskvich. Oh, what the hell? Ah, of course, I shouldn't increment. I should plus equals value. Yeah. Of course, it should be going up and down. And yeah, there we go. Spec Tetro Moskvich. Tetro spec. Tetro spec. Tetro spec. Tetro spec. Tetro spec. Tetro Moskvich. Tetro Moskvich. Tetro Moskvich. Tetro Moskvich. Cool. So there it is. Oh, we have a bug. We have a bug. It's probably out of bounds. It's probably out of bounds. Yes, I knew it, because this is completely unsafe to do. This is why you should never use modulo, especially in C++. Okay, yeah, it tries to go, yeah, if it tries to go below 0, here's what happened, right? Assertion failed. Subscript out of range, yeah, because it has become too big or something. Yeah, it went below 0 and it's probably became -1. So if I do retry, you can actually find this where it's coming from. Entry title, yeah, current car is -1. There it is. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, that's why you should never rely on the modulo. Instead, I should just wrap around with some function. Okay, so it was a cool stuff. Cool stuff. We implemented a few things. I can now easily build menus, whatever I want. We have the left and right incrementing. Well, the car is broken, but everything else should work fine. So if I go into the options, the graphics, I can increase, decrease. That's pretty cool. I can go back, can change the label of this one, increment and confirm, changing the value again to whatever on repeat. Yeah, works cool. I can even go to another menu and it all gets realigned instantly, which is great. I was afraid of popping, like if you say credits and it just changes the form and it's gonna pop, and no, it actually calculates everything correctly. That's great. That's great. Okay, let's quit, and that's gonna be it for today. So abstract into the rendering class, yeah, and this is gonna be for the next stream. For the next stream, number 117, 117, Medicopter 117. That was a show that I used to watch as a kid. Random Medicopter 117 mentioned. Anyway, yeah, let's add these. Let's add the menu to Shakedown tomorrow. Let's say on stream. And yeah, I don't know which the options should be, but that's it. So, thanks for being in a stream. Hope you enjoyed it. It was 2 relatively short streams, which is always nice, and I've done everything I imagined. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good night.